when the attacks occurred, all the communications were wiped out, you know, to Wall Street, et cetera, to the whole area, actually. And what we did is they sent down teams of cable splicers, and I was the only representative from Long Island that was trained on air compressors. And what we did is, you know, we pump in compressed air into the cables, you know, to keep them dry. The basements of all the buildings were flooded, you know, with you know, ruptured diesel fuel tanks and water and everything like that. So, so what these teams of cable splicers did is they created new cables above ground, and they ran them from point A to point B, and they got communications up and running in no time. When I was driving down there, I was on the, you know, what was the West Side Highway, you know, past the Javits Center where it was the main headquarters, you know, for FEMA. And I would drive down there from that point, you know, to, it was like a gauntlet of people on both sides, and everybody was holding up signs, thank you, our heroes, and this and that. And I didn't feel like a hero, you know, I just felt like I was down there to do a job. You know, the first thing I saw was, you know, a lot of vehicles that were crushed, you know, a fire truck that was crushed. And then I looked up, and there was a street, you know, where there was a street, and it was all blocked off with, you know, it was indiscernible as to what it originally was, you know. It was like something, you know, out of a movie, you know. It was so surrealistic. It was actually the debris that formed in between the two buildings and took up all the space of the street, you know. They gave me a Tyvek suit to wear, and initially they only gave me a cotton mask, you know. And I got down there, and it was like about 3 days that I was there, and I finally went in for certification for the masks that the mayor's office provided. But it wasn't until 3 days later that these masks were given to us. They're very professional type of masks, I guess, like the military would use. And the cartridges had to be changed every once in a while. But they didn't tell me, you know, that in order for this mask to be properly sealed, I should have shaved off my beard, you know, because I had a full beard. And, you know, I really don't like to criticize anybody, but the EPA was down there, and they put monitoring devices all around the place. And they actually lied to the people, you know, as far as the air quality, that it was safe, you know, which it wasn't. Every once in a while, you know, the iron workers, of course, they were dismantling everything, and the truckers were taking everything out. The firemen and the police officers, Port Authority, were working diligently on the pile, and a lot of them weren't wearing masks or anything like that. And you know, I could see the agony, you know, that they suffered, you know. And every once in a while, you know, they would blow the horn, you know, and everybody would stop working, and all the firemen and the police officers, or what have you, the civil authorities, they would all line up, you know, along a path, you know, that they made on both sides, from the pile all the way to where the medical examiners trucks were waiting, to remove the remains. And every once in a while, they would remove a police officer or a fireman, and they drape a flag, an American flag, over the stretcher, and all the firemen and everybody would stop, and remove our helmets and hold them over our hearts, and they would take the remains and bring them to the medical examiner and drive away, and everybody would go back to work. FEMA, was down there, and they would come out with remains of people in plastic bags, and it became so realistic to me. It was like going on a fishing trip and carrying a bag of fish. It was like, but it was actually human flesh. Because they were see-through bags. While I was down there, I kind of felt that I was in the presence of true heroes. Men that sacrifice their lives every day. And I kind of felt not inferior, but not worthy to really be there. It was just amazing the support units that were down there, from the doctors, psychologists, animal psychologists, they had the triage, centers all fixed up over there and everything. There was quite a few volunteers, kids, teenagers and elderly people, senior citizens that met the call, from like the Salvation Army, the Red Cross, et cetera, that would, give out, bottles of water, or, tending to just general needs, just have somebody to talk to. Silver Cup Studios donated the lighting, Hollywood lighting, for the nighttime to illuminate the pile, so that was all lit up, and after a while, it was like watching looking at something, it was just so hard to comprehend that this was a result of an attack on us, and after a while, you just become immune, and you think to yourself that this was something that was produced. Everything was just like a twisted, mangled mess, and there was a constant, smell of exhaust and fumes and that putrid smell, and it was just it was incomprehensible, to see what I was actually looking at. And after a while, I felt like I was in a Salvatore Dali painting.